Hello, everybody. Welcome to Upod, our UmattR podcast. Today, we have with me, Eli, Taylor, Meredith, and Rhea. I go to Bloomfield High School.
I go to Piedra Vista High School.
I go to PV2.
I go to FHS.
And today we'll be talking about the topic of college, whether or not it's worth it, the money, the factors that go into it, and what might be our playing into our decision of going into college after high school. So our first question we got are what are our top choices right now? What colleges have we applied to, or what are we looking at so far?
So far my top 3 choices are the University of Arizona, which is in Tucson, and then Baylor University and Oklahoma State.
My top choices are probably Utah State or BYU Provo or UVU.
My top 3 right now are Texas A&M, NMSU, or the University of Nebraska in Lincoln.
I was born in Nebraska.
I have to agree with that. I think Baylor's on my top. Baylor and MSU and Texas Tech right now. But a big question about that is, what are your priorities when you're looking at a college, right? So for me, it's mainly money because I don't want to be in debt, right? But I'm wondering what your guys' priorities are.
I feel like money plays a big part, like if I get scholarships and like whatnot. But I also like want like a medium-sized school. Like I don't want a tiny school, but like not a huge one either.
Yeah, I think money is a factor, but then also I want it to be in kind of like a college town, like a place that's catered towards college students and not like, I don't know, like old people or like families, like just a town that's going to be fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah. For me, it was more if it had my program, because forensics is not very common, unfortunately. And then on top of that, it was like how close it was to home and how much money it was going to cost me.
Yeah. And part of that, right, is there's alternative routes, right? So trade school or even the military, stuff like that. Do you guys think there is any better alternatives other than college at all?
I think I want to go to college. Like I feel like that's where I want to go next, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know that if you want to be like an ultrasound tech or something in radiology, I think you go to trade school for 2 years, and they obviously do well, so I think that's a good alternative too, or like cosmetology school. So I think there is definitely other good options, but yeah, personally I want to go to college too.
I know for mine, I could go like the alternative route and just go through like the police academy, but I didn't really want to. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that you could do depending on like what you want to go into, but for me, it wasn't a choice. I didn't want to do the police academy.
Yeah.
That's valid.
Do you guys feel like high school has prepared you like socially and academically at all? Like, do you, on a scale from like 1 to 10, and like, I don't know. For me, I think solid 6. I think I'm not really ready yet, but I won't be like totally lost. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, I kind of agree with like the 6. Like I feel like I've grown up here, so I don't really know how to like, I don't know, be around new people, not know anyone. So I feel like that's kind of scary, but.
Yeah, I think the social aspect is scary. I would probably give it a 5. Maybe other schools don't do this, but I feel like we weren't taught how to do like important stuff, I guess, which could be an issue, but yeah.
I think like the dual credit stuff through the through like the college high school stuff, that really helped with like being like college ready. But the social stuff, I'm not very good at like making friends or anything, so I don't think that really prepared me. So I give it like a 6.
Yeah, I have to agree with the social part. It's tough because you're gonna probably go somewhere that you know nobody, and but I mean that's part of it, right? So, do you feel any pressure from like choosing a major, or choosing a specific college, and where does that pressure come from?
I definitely feel pressure because my sister goes to the University of Arizona, so I feel pressure to kind of go there. But then I also like don't want to know anyone because I have been like known people my whole life, so I don't know. I feel like that has played a part.
Yeah. I don't even know. I feel like there's like obviously like unsaid expectations of like go into something that's gonna like get you far in life, which is like kind of a lot to think about sometimes because it's like obviously you're gonna have to like work really hard to like get a degree or something that's gonna like help you do well in life. So yeah.
I think like a lot of the pressure comes from like my family, and they want me to like do something with my life, but they also don't want to pay for it. So I know that there's a lot of pressure for me to go to NMSU, but there's also a lot of pressure for me to go to Texas because it is somewhat prestigious.
Yeah, I have to agree with that, yeah. So NMSU is, I mean, college in New Mexico is free, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for all of us, because we're New Mexico residents, would you say that it's, that educate, or the financial part of it is worth more in New Mexico than going out of state for a better experience or a better program that's higher ranked? Would you guys say that financially it's more important, or your experience is more important in college?
I feel like it just depends, because I feel like if I don't get a scholarship, then I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna stay. But I feel like the small, like paying some, I feel like is worth it too, because I feel like I would know a lot of people at UNM and NMSU just because everyone goes there.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it would just be high school over again, because I would know so many people.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I feel like I don't know, I feel like the experience is almost more important, but I also know that like financial situations are not great for everyone. So I think it definitely depends on what you're going for. If it's something like business, or something kind of like that's very common, I don't think going to a different college is going to get you very much like of a different experience. They're all kind of going to be similar. But for like very niche programs, I feel like you're going to get a lot different of an experience from different colleges, just because they all teach different things and they all have different expectations of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like all, like different programs are, way differently. Do you guys think, how all colleges have their rankings and their national, stats and stuff? What do you guys think about that? Do you think it's kind of a little bit cherry picked, or do you think, does that sway into your decision, like their rankings and stuff like that?
I don't think so. I mean, I did not look at the rankings of any of the schools I applied to. I looked at where they were and like who I'd be surrounded with, but so I don't think so.
I feel like it does for me. I did kind of look at some rankings for like nursing programs. I feel like in the schools I was looking at, they were mostly like the same price. So if I'm like paying the same price, but I have the option to go to a school with a better program, then like obviously I would choose that. So I feel like it does kind of play a part.
Yeah. I looked at rankings at first, but then I kind of just got more into like the smaller parts of it. So like looking at like specific rankings for specific majors. And I think that played a huge part. But other than that, it didn't really matter to me too much. Just like the price of it, because more higher ranked schools cost a lot more.
Yeah, they do.
So
especially private schools, right?
Oh yeah.
Compared to public. But speaking of which, does something like diversity and like people there of different types, does that play a factor in your guys' decision, or?
I mean, I feel like somewhat. Like I've applied. I'm looking at more like Texas, Oklahoma. Like I want more of the country scene, I guess. Like I don't know. I feel like that's kind of what I'm going for, rather than being in like California or like by the beach. I feel like I want more of the mountain country aspect.
Yeah, I definitely want like a change of scenery from here, and yeah, I'm just excited to meet new people, because I feel like I don't know, the people in Farmington just kind of like stay here, so you're used to like Taylor was saying, like all the same people. But like when you move and then get out, then you can like meet all kinds of new people. So
I agree. Yeah, it didn't play like a huge role, but I definitely would love a lot of diversity. It wasn't like a deciding factor for me, but it is nice to have.
Yeah, I would say it's not a huge factor for me either, but I have to agree with Taylor. Like, I definitely, a big part of my decision is the area of Texas. That's where my family is, and I enjoy Texas. I enjoy everything about it. I enjoy the people there, and I think that is a big factor for me. But I'd probably say financial is the biggest for me so far, But moving on, when you guys hear about people taking a year off of high school and then going to college, or taking a gap in between, do you guys feel like, would you consider that, or do you guys feel like something like that would be smart, or what do you guys think about that?
I think it just depends on the person. Like I feel like it would be fun just to take a gap year and just like travel and just do what, but I feel like it's also not very reasonable for me at least, because I definitely would not want to go back to school. I feel like after I get a break, I just would want to stay on the break. So I feel like for me, I just want to go straight into college. But I understand why others would want to take a gap year too.
Yeah, I think if that works for you, then that's like, that would be so fun, and just like, yeah, like traveling around. But also like, I feel like when I come back from summer, I have a hard time like switching back into like school mode, I guess. So if I took a whole year off, I think that'd be like really hard to adjust back, especially because you're already having to like adjust to college and everything. So then like coming back from a whole year off would be hard.
I think it would be smart if you're like trying to, if you go to work and you're trying to like save up money to go to college. I think that's a smart idea. But for me personally, I don't know who I am outside of school, so I have to keep going to school. I think I'd lose all motivation to go to college, just like Taylor said. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't really see it other than actually going there and seeing the college, right? So I was going to ask you guys, have you guys been on any visits? And if so, where at? And what do you think? Me personally, I went to New Mexico Tech, New Mexico State, and then Texas Tech and Baylor. And I visited all of them, and Baylor, I'd have to say, is super, super nice. Super nice. Nicest college I've been to. However, they never tell you the price. I went, and they never mentioned the price for a reason, because it's super nice. But Texas Tech, it's a really beautiful campus. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see the labs for engineering for Texas Tech, New Mexico Tech, and NMSU. But NMSU's, I like their campus, very open. New Mexico Tech, I was a little disappointed with the dorms, but I did really like the labs just because their engineering program's really good. But other than that, yeah.
Yeah, I've toured I just did like self tours, like just went with my family. Like I didn't get any like guided, but I've gone to like the U of A and NMSU, and then I've also done some in California, but those were more just like for fun. Like we went to like Pepperdine, and I was like, this is too expensive. But yeah, we went to a few.
Yeah, I feel like I've done like family tours too. I've never done like an arranged one, but I've gone to a few for like sports camps, or my brother goes to UVU, so he's like kind of shown me around sometimes. So no like official tours, but
I visited NMSU like forever ago, and I don't really remember it that much, but I haven't visited any recently, but I do have one planned, so we're gonna go to Texas soon.
Nice. I have to ask about big sports, right? So if we're talking about New Mexico colleges, they have sports, of course, but there's sports all over the country, and of course there's better teams outside of New Mexico. And for me, I asked this question because I would love to go to some football games, experience the lights and fireworks, all the things that they have, see D1 football, football at the highest level in college, and that definitely plays a factor for me. So I'm wondering if sports in general, not just football, play a factor in that college you're going to.
I think it does play a factor. I don't really care like how great you are, I think, but as long as there are games, like my friend goes to Vanderbilt and no one goes to the sports, and I feel like that would be kind of boring. Like I want to go, for Oklahoma State, I know they shut down like the whole town to go to the football games, which I think is kind of fun. So I think for the experience, yes, but I'm not big into sports, so like I don't really care how great they are.
Yeah.
I think it would be fun. It would definitely be a plus if your school was like good at sports, or like everybody was involved with it. I don't really like care about sports that much, so like if I was able to just like go to another school's like games, like if I went to UVU or something and could just like go to Utah State's games or something, then like it would be the same experience kind of, so it's not that important to me.
I think I'd want like a school that has at least decent like sports teams. That way it's at least like fun to watch. You can get out of your dorm, like go have fun with your friends. I think just the event matters to me, not so much the sports. So if there's cool events that happen, then I'll be there.
No, that's 100% reasonable. I had to ask because I'm a big sports guy, but I understand that. There's actually so much more to college, and but I want to ask everyone, all you guys have at least a major that you're looking at, or one that you're interested in. I have to ask, what got you interested in that, and what do you do like back home that, that helps you kind of prepare for it at like the slightest, I guess.
So I want to go into the medical field. So I'm looking at either being an audiologist or a pediatrician. I feel like an audiologist would be cool because I have hearing aids and I suffer from hearing loss. So I feel like I know a lot about it and like I can relate. So I feel like that would be cool just because I do understand and whatever. And then pediatrician, I like kids. I feel like it would just be kind of a fun job to help kids.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I want to get my bachelor's of science in nursing so I can be a postpartum nurse, and I guess I'm not really doing anything like at home to prepare for that because like I don't have a baby in my family, but I'm taking like anatomy 2 right now, and I took obviously anatomy 1 last year, so I'm kind of like preparing through school. And I don't know, I just think that babies have always like been like an interest to me, and like just taking care of them and like the mom after birth just seems like a good fun job. I don't know.
So mine, I don't really know how it started. I've always just kind of been interested in like the human mind and the human behavior. So I'm going into forensics, and that's like crime scene analysis. And let's see. So it kind of started like a long time ago. I decided I wanted to get my associates in psychology, and I really wanted to be a psychologist. And then I started taking all the classes, and I was like, you know what? This isn't for me. And then I took a forensics class last year, and that just kind of solidified what I wanted to do. So as of like preparing, I am getting my associates in psychology. So I feel like that kind of helps.
No, it definitely does, yeah.
Also
Nice.
watching a lot of crime scene shows.
Yeah. Well, to answer the question myself, I'd say just making stuff with my hands at home, working on trucks and making stuff, I don't know, even stuff like cornhole boards. It's really fun, and the idea that I can go home and make something myself, or in any scenario I could engineer something. I mean, I don't know, that's really what made it for me, but I'd probably say that I need to prepare myself more to go in that field, but I mean, what can you do, right? So I have to ask, with public and private universities you get more of a teacher to student ratio, probably like, I want to say it's like 12-1 or something like that, something crazy. But of course with private universities you pay way more for that, but you might learn more. And in something like a public university, you have lecture halls as big as, I don't know, 300 kids, 200 kids. And for me that does play a factor, because something like Texas Tech that I want to go to, that's part of something I'm worried about, and I'm worried about if I can learn enough, or if I can stay on track with that many kids in the same lecture hall. And I'm wondering if you guys feel the same way about that.
Yeah, I feel like I could see that becoming an issue. Seeing from like my sister, I know they do have like the like tutoring like classes, which I definitely think help, but I am kind of worried about that because like I feel like sometimes I get confused and I am embarrassed to speak up in front of that many people.
Yeah, I feel like it wouldn't necessarily be like a determining factor of like what college I want to go to, because it might even just like be as hard as an online class with like, sometimes it feels like it's like hard to reach your teachers, I guess. And so I think that we've all like taken online classes obviously, and we've like experienced that and like gotten through it. So I feel like if I could do that as a high schooler, I would be fine in like a big lecture hall as a college student. I don't know.
That makes sense. I definitely don't want like something like too big to where the teacher just doesn't pay attention to you, but probably not like too small. I'm the kind of person that like picks up material somewhat quickly. I may not understand it, but I'll memorize it. And so I feel like if I ever do have issues, I just find like the random people on YouTube to explain it to me, because they explain it so much better. So I don't really see a problem with like that in particular. But I do think it'd be nice to have at least communication with your professors. Yeah.
Kind of to add on to that, I have, well, part of that why I asked that question is because public university, I have an uncle who just graduated NMSU, from NMSU with a bachelor's in computer science. And he said, I asked him because I wanted to go to NMSU, and he's like, well, sometimes they make you kind of take some kind of off the course classes. They made me take bug science, and I'm like, why'd they make you take bug science if you're a computer science major? And I guess that's just kind of how public universities are. And for me, that's why NMSU is a little bit on 50-50 right now between that and Texas Tech. But just like Meredith said, there's online. Would you guys prefer your classes to be more like online work, or do you prefer more in-person learning?
I feel like it would be nice to have a little bit of both, because I don't know. I mean, this year I'm taking a lot of online and only one in-person class, and I feel like it's kind of nice being able to do like some of the work on my own time and not have to like. But I also feel like the in-person class is like the point of college, like communicating with people and getting relationships with one another. So I feel like a little bit of both would be nice.
I wish I was like really good with online classes and just like had all this motivation to like do all of it without like my parents getting on me, but like I'm not, and so I feel like I can only take so many online classes, but then I need to like have in-person classes where like there's like a teacher and I'm like surrounded by people who are like doing their work, so I know that like I have to do my work, and I feel like that'd be better motivation maybe. So
No, yeah. Like, I think I'd be 50-50, because, like, I can do the online work. I just tend to lose motivation towards, like, the end of the semester. So if I actually have, like, an in-person class to go to, it gives me a reason to, like, get up early in the morning, and it gives me a reason to actually do my homework. So I think I lean more towards, like, the in-person classes, but I could go 50-50.
Yeah. I'd have to say I like hands-on more, like way more. Like, I'm terrible with online stuff. I just cannot do it. Like, I can't wake up in the morning and get on my computer and do assignments. I don't know what it is, but I just can't. So if I had to choose, it'd be hands-on and in person. But do you guys get homesick at all? And are you worried about that at all? Like missing your family and wanting to go back every couple days? Say you go somewhere close like UNM or NMSU or even Tech, anything like that, in New Mexico or even Arizona or Colorado. Are you worried you get homesick and want to drive back every couple days?
I think it'll take some getting used to, like, being away, but I feel like I want to go far enough where I can't just come home for the weekend. Like, I feel like even NMSU is kind of a good distance, like 7 hours. You're not just going to really drive home for 2 days and then drive back. I feel like it will be hard to get used to, because I really have lived here my whole life, and, like, so I don't really know what it's like to be, I mean, everyone's lived with their parents there most of their life, so, like, I don't know what it's like to be away from them, but I think once you get used to it, it should be fine, hopefully.
Yeah. I think, it would definitely be an adjustment, but at the same time, as long as you're, like, at a good school surrounded by good people, I think it would be, like, so fun and so new and exciting that, like, of course you'd be thinking about your family, but you wouldn't be, like, missing them so much just because you're, like, distracted by other things. I also, like, do have family in Utah, and so, like, my family goes up to, like, visit kind of a lot, so I think that would help too, but I will not even have a car to go home.
I think I'm very grateful for technology. I think I would be able to do it just because I could FaceTime them whenever I wanted. But I'm also the person that loves my personal space. I think the people that I'd miss the most are definitely my grandparents and my great-grandparents, because they're just the sweetest little people ever. I love them so much, and I just can't. I have a really hard time, like, spending more than, like, a couple days without them. So I think that'd be my biggest challenge.
Yeah. Shout out to grandparents. Walking angels on this earth.
Oh, yeah.
But let's see. I have a couple left, and I want to ask you guys, let's see. When you guys I say you're at a family event and your uncle or your aunt walks up to you and they're like, you have to go here. Like, if you go to someplace else, that's dumb. Or your parents are telling you, don't go there, or, you know what I mean? So family advice and expectations. How do you guys deal with, your family coming up to you and be like, why are you going there? That's dumb, I guess. Because I get that a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it is hard because I feel like it is such a topic of conversation right now. I feel like with my family, they were pushing me to go to NMSU or U of A because of my sister, and I've kind of just shut down. I just kind of, like, don't want to talk about it with them anymore, but it's getting better because now they're, like, more open to me going other places. But I think for a while I did just shut down, and I was like, I don't want to hear your opinion because I know your opinion. I know what you want me to do, but I feel like it's nice having friends to talk about, like, be more open and open-minded. And I feel like now that I've opened my options, my parents are more like welcoming to new ideas.
Yeah. Thankfully, I'm the third kid, so 2 of my other like siblings have already gone to college, and they're like in different states. So I feel like my parents they don't really care that much. Obviously, they're not gonna pay for some like crazy expensive college because like they're gonna help me out with tuition, but like I don't want to go to like, I don't know, Harvard. I wouldn't even make it in, but like somewhere far away and like expensive. Like I want to stay kind of close. So, and I think that they're fine with that too. So,
Yeah, I am the oldest child in my family, and I am like I'm the only grandchild so far that's going out of state or planning to go out of state. So I think that definitely puts a lot of pressure on someone, just because everyone wants you to like do something great. And it's not that my other cousins aren't doing anything great. They're still getting their degrees and stuff, but like go somewhere farther. And so I feel like there's a lot of pressure because my parents really want me to stay in state so that they can pay for it. And I really want to go out of state, and the rest of my family really wants me to go out of state. So I feel like there's a lot of back and forth, and there's a lot of like disagreements with it. But my dad did make me do like this homework assignment not too long ago where I like plan out everything that I use on a daily and how much that costs and how much I spend a month and like how much everything would cost. And so I think that helped me kind of like realize what I'm doing. So now I'm in a tighter position because now I want to listen to them, but I also want to like not. I don't know. It's really hard, but there is a lot of back and forth.
Yeah. Part of it is, you don't know where you'll be in the future. You don't know what you'll want in the future. And so I want to ask, like, 5 years from now, you won't know. So I want to ask, that major that you're planning to get or that you're planning to obtain, do you think that it'll be worth it? Do you think that it can get you a job right away or even an internship up until you're like your junior year so you can get started and you don't have to struggle when you graduate from college?
Well, for the fact that I'm going to medical school, I feel like right after it might be difficult because then you have to pay for medical school. But I'm hoping it'll all end up being worth it in the end. But I feel like 5 years I still will be in debt from medical school. So hopefully in 10 years we'll be doing great.
Yeah, I think obviously nursing school is not as expensive as medical school, so that should be like less stress. I think in 5 years, I don't know where I'll be, but I know that obviously you have to like do rotations and just like different labs for a few months at a time before you like select like the specific path you want to go into for nursing. So I think that I'll just kind of be like really figuring out what I want to do and see if I want to change my mind. But hopefully in 5 years I won't be in that much debt. I don't know.
I feel like I wanna believe that my career choice will get me somewhere far, but I can't always be very certain about that because you can never tell the future. But I do think that the career field that I want to go into is very much, it's growing every day, and so I feel like there's always the opportunity that you have exactly what you need at any given point, but you can never be too sure, and so that's kind of where I'm stuck.
I have 2 more questions for you guys, and I want to ask, is there any states, like overall states, that you say absolutely not? So for me, it is actually Arizona because it's way too hot for me. It's just way too hot. I mean, Texas is hot, but I don't know. When you see the videos of cars melting, I don't know, I get a little scared. But I mean, I see why people go there because it's really nice, and I mean, people enjoy the heat. I'm just not a heat guy. Or even somewhere like Utah, just because they don't really have a lot of engineering schools. So I'm wondering, is there any states that are absolutely not for you?
I feel like just the ones that are like super far. Like I want to stay kind of close around, and like I mean I will not be ending up in like Minnesota or anywhere like random like that. Like I want to be somewhere where like I know other people that are going to the school, and I don't know, not super far.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, for me it's Arizona because my sister actually goes to school in Arizona, and we just were there for Thanksgiving break, and I was like, okay, like the weather's finally nice, and I just would not want to go to school somewhere where I only enjoy the weather for like 3 months of the year. And I also just like want to get out of the desert, and I don't think I'd be able to like handle going to school somewhere where I like hate the scenery. But I don't know, that's just me.
Yeah, I have to agree with Taylor. I don't think I can go very far. But I mean, if it was like dead last choice, like I had no other option, I would go to like Maine or something, like really far away. But I would just prefer not to. So I don't think there's any states that are really out of like the question, but there's a lot of states that I'm not questioning right now.
Yeah. 2 more. I know I got a lot of questions. But, do you guys think Ivy League schools are worth it? So Harvard or Brown University, stuff like that, or any of those Ivy League, do you guys think that they're worth the money and worth the distance? Because of course they're prestigious, but they're also expensive, and they're all the way across the country also. So if you had an offer from an Ivy League school, say a smaller scholarship, would you think about it? Would you consider it?
I feel like it just depends on the person. I don't think I would consider it just because I feel like those schools are so focused on school, and it's not like, and I want more of the like
The college
sports
experience
and like going out, and I feel like from like I do have some friends that have gone to like some crazy schools, but it's just like all they focus on is school, and that would just stress me out, and I don't think I could do just school.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I feel like college is like, it's only like 4 years or 6 years or whatever, and like it is really important to focus on school, but at the same time, like, you're only in college once, so like obviously you don't go crazy, but I think it is like important to have fun, and I don't think that you would really get that at Harvard, I guess, or like whatever other like pristine schools, but I probably would not consider it.
I think it definitely depends on a lot of factors, like your financial state and like what kind of scholarships you're getting and where you're going and like what you're doing after college. So like if you were going to be like a new Supreme Court lawyer or something like that, that might be reasonable if you're really, really rich. But I'm obviously not. So I don't think I'd do it unless I got like a full ride scholarship or something, which is not possible.
No, I agree with all you guys. It's kind of, I don't know, it's definitely a stretch. But last one for you guys today. Ignore the money problem, ignore financials. Say you could study abroad, even if, and it's fully paid for. Where would you study, or where would you go? And would your major change because of where you're at? Like, say I go to study in Spain, and say they don't really have engineering. I'm not sure, but say they don't have engineering as heavy there. Would my major change, or basically would you be willing to change your major to go somewhere and study abroad?
I feel like the experience of studying abroad would be really cool. I have like some friends who did a semester in Austria, which I feel like being in Europe would be really cool because they just went to different countries every weekend, and so I feel like it would be. I don't know if I would change my major to study abroad, though. That's kind of scary. Like, not, like, doing something else just to be there. But I feel like the experience would be really cool to be somewhere like that.
Yeah. If it was, like, I know some people, like, do it for a semester, like, do it for a year. If it was for a year, honestly, I would change my major because I think that would be, like, the coolest thing ever. I don't know exactly, like, where I would go. Definitely somewhere in Europe. Maybe like Switzerland or something, but I just feel like that'd be a really cool experience because you like can't really do that ever again. So like if you have the opportunity, then I think that you should take it. But
I think that'd be fun if I could learn another language. Like I have a really hard time picking up other languages. I've tried and I failed. So I think if I could just easily learn another language, that would be fun. But I don't think I could change my major doing anything else because I don't find anything as interesting as I do my major. So I also don't know anything about other countries. So
Yeah, that's part of it. I wouldn't know where I would want to study. I mean, maybe something like Spain, but it's definitely something that you can remember forever. But that's really it, guys. And I really hope. Thanks for watching Upod, and I hope all of us move on, and I think we'll all find great colleges. I mean, we all have great resumes in what we're doing, and if we continue what we're doing, even after college, we'll continue to have great things going on for us. So thank you for tuning in and watching Upod, and we'll see you guys later.